So many times, a lot of times, when you're smart, it's harder. Sorry. It's harder because so I'm talking to you where you're frustrated with your business. You've been in business for at least a decade, you're making multi six figures, and yet it's just not, you're not going to the next level. You're on what feels like for you a revenue plateau. And it's not for you, it is about the money for sure. It's not only about the money though. It's also about how it is that you, who is a problem solver and so capable, and other people know this. Sometimes you know it, sometimes you don't, but you do know it underneath. And yet you're not able to move your business off this plateau. And you know something is off. That's the problem. You know something is off. And so you notice things like, mm, people are paying their invoices slower and slower, and you don't seem to have a way to help them move along. They delay for months, or you delay in putting together proposals when someone comes to you with a dream project and you're really busy and you want to do it, but you still delay. Or, something's off with that team member. Every time, I just don't feel like things are going as well as they should be. I just don't think she's what I really need. And you've been thinking this for at least 3 months, probably closer to 6 months or a year. And you know when things are off. And you do things to fix them. You work with her, the team member. You work hard to maybe get yourself up earlier and have a better morning routine and stop using sticky notes everywhere and have more organization. You've done things to help what is already a successful business be more successful. You've consulted coaches, you've been to masterminds. You're not a stranger to solving things, either yourself or with really high level help. And yet, at the same time, even though you know it's off and you know there's things that you need to do and you are doing them, it's this what you already know, it isn't enough. And when people give you suggestions and you hear, yeah, I know that, or yeah, da 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 da, like somebody said the other day about when people give her suggestions about maybe not spending so much, na, 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 is what she says she was doing inside. So the so you kind of know, well, you definitely know, and yet what is so clear, I want you to really hear this. What is so clear is that knowing has not been enough. Knowing enough to do the things that you've been doing, which haven't been working enough, is also not enough. And yet, what else can we do? We perceive, we understand, we become self-aware, and then we do, and it's not enough. Then what? Like, as I once thought to myself, if I don't, if my intellect isn't what I want to lead from, what else is there really that'll really take me there that I trust? Because if you've gotten this far, you trust this mind of yours. It's a good mind. And as I've been talking to you over these different YouTubes, I want you to understand that the the mind and the way you're using your mind, and which I'm including the deeper mind, that way is not constructed to go deeper than the level you're currently at. So what happens is we get into a box. We get into a box and all our solutions come from this box. I understand I need to do this differently. I'm not doing it, so I need to do it more, or I need to get somebody to help me with it. All of the solutions are coming from the box of what I already think is the problem, and what and who I am, what I know I can do without driving myself crazy with work, because I'm already working very hard, is the thinking. So, but this box that you're in, this particular one hasn't been enough to solve the problem. And you are suffering. This feels awful. And you don't want to put up with it anymore. I know exactly what that feels like. It's a horrible feeling to know that you are capable of more and you're not getting there. Awful, especially for an intelligent, successful woman who is like feeling the pulsations of this. What's wrong? What's wrong? Why can't I solve this? So again, we have the box. Now, the box will, so for example, I'm going to give you an example about creativity. Now, creativity is just one thing that is extremely helpful to a successful business owner. Just one. But so many other things: confidence, for example, self assurance, empathy, kindness, a kind of drive, clarity. There's all kinds of aspects of ourselves that are really helpful. I'm going to use creativity as an example. So, creativity, maybe it's not so obvious to you, maybe it is, but creativity is needed to have life in a business, to have life in you, and for things not to be dry and rote in your business, and to solve problems, and to solve problems differently than you've been solving up till now, in a way that might actually work even better, and a willingness to go outside of what you're used to doing, and to bring life. And it brings life to the soul, right? It brings life to you, the business owner. So I was thinking about a particular woman that I was work with, who is one of the most creative people I've ever met in my life. It's extraordinary. Everything about her, just how she is, who she's being, as well as what she does in her life, is so beautifully creative. It's just wonderful to watch it just flow from her. But she had a problem in her business, that she had a huge box that she was pinging off the sides of this box. For a problem in her business. I want to do this, but I can't do this. I want to do this, I can't do this, and this doesn't work, and that doesn't work, and nothing was working, and it was driving her mad. She's also very intelligent, and so drove her crazy. How come she couldn't solve it? She decided she needed more creativity in her life. So she did all kinds of things. She did wrote some music with her son, and she started to work with her hands in a different way, and many different things that she did externally, but it wasn't inside of her business, which was her main concern. So she was taking these pieces of creativity and putting them here, and putting them here, and putting them here, and putting them here, but none of them were going into her business, which is what was so important to her, and what her revenue plateau was excruciatingly important to her, because the box she was in couldn't and wouldn't allow for any other way for her to be in her business. So, can you identify something for yourself here where you're really yearning, needing, searching, thirsting after something that you want different in your business? Revenue plateau, most likely, but also a different way of being in your business that would feel more you. And yet, the solutions that you're coming up with are tacking something on here and tacking something on there, when really it's your soul that's aching, and these other solutions are on a completely different level, and they're all from within this box. So what I'm saying to you is, if you can even consider the possibility that there is another place in you for these answers to come from, a different level of your consciousness that contains, that goes so far beyond the box, it contains all of you. If you can just consider the possibility that it's not just that your head can solve the problems, even to have a tiny, tiny shred of doubt that maybe it isn't just my thinking mind, my intellect that's going to get me out of here, then you are moving in the right direction. Now, this is, I don't know that I would have been able to hear this back when I was in my 30s, but I do think I could have heard it in my 40s, late 40s, because I was feeling my concern and about what I was doing on a much deeper level. So I'm hoping that you are hearing this and you're at a place where you can hear this. And we're going to continue with each step that comes next in each YouTube that comes next.